It's the Happy Families podcast. It's the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now.
G'day everybody, this is Dr. Justin Coulson, flying solo because sometimes it's just too hard to get Kylie and I together to do the podcast together. Did you hear that? My voice cracked because I feel like I'm letting the team down. Today, just a really quick one, because sometimes we don't need a 15-minute podcast to remind us of what matters. Just like dollars are the currency of our economy, connection is the currency of our relationships. When you have a relationship that has connection, you have a relationship that has life. A relationship with no connection is a relationship that really is either dead or dying. We've all had that experience with somebody that matters to us. We love them. We try our best to connect, but instead we misconnect. And the longer the misconnections occur, the more anxiety we feel around the relationship, and the more the relationship suffers. And I can't tell you how many times I've had this conversation with parents. The parent will say, I'm really, really struggling with my child. They're driving me crazy. So I'll say, well, tell me about the last time that you really spent some good quality time with them. No interruptions, no correction and direction, just good time together. A walk in the park, a camping trip, that kind of thing. And the parent will usually say something like, it's been a while. Kids spell love, T-I-M-E. And so I'll say to them, spend some time connecting, email me, let me know how it goes. And within a pretty short time, I usually receive an update, and it goes something like this. Hi, Justin, we spent some time together. It made such a difference. I feel like our relationship is alive again. So does this work every time? Well, of course not. Parenting isn't that simple, but sometimes it actually is. So try it this week. Focus on time together. Drop the agenda and help your children feel like they matter. And then let me know what happens. Right after the break, an update on some cool stuff happening at Happy Families.
It's the Happy Families podcast.
Are screens creating tension at home? Tweens, Teens and Screens is a webinar to guide families to healthy, safe super screen solutions. Buy it today at happyfamilies.com.au/shop.
It's the Happy Families podcast, the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now. It's Dr. Justin Coulson here, flying solo without Kylie, who is in the middle of navigating our ongoing moving saga. Our house is finally on the market. In case you're wondering, can I be that personal with you? Our house is finally on the market. If you're looking to live in the southern Brisbane suburb of Cornubia, we'd be really happy for you to buy our house so that we can finalise our move to the coast. Kylie is still living in an Airbnb and doing her best to help the children to feel settled when it isn't really working so well. I mean, the kids just, they want stability, and it's really tough to not have that. The reason that I wanted to continue the podcast just briefly is because on the 24th of March, I've got a free webinar coming up called Can We Please Talk About Our Boys? In the first part of this conversation, this podcast today, I've talked about the importance of connection, and it is so important. But the reality is raising boys is really complicated in today's world. We've got an ever-changing view of what masculinity is and what it should be, particularly due to great things like the Me Too movement, but also the ongoing challenging conversation around consent, issues of privilege, and so on. And some people are saying, well, we should be talking to our girls about this stuff as well as our boys. I would agree with that, but the conversations need to be different because our boys experience these things in ways that are different to our girls. So we're going to unpack all of this in a free webinar on Thursday of next week, Thursday, March the 24th. It's at 8 o'clock New South Wales and Victoria time, 7 o'clock Queensland time. Anywhere else you might be, check your local guides. And here's the good news. If you've got boys and you'd like to participate, being there in attendance live will be best because you can ask your questions and enjoy the interaction. But we will be giving you access to the free webinar as a recording for 7 days following the free webinar. So can we please talk about boys? That's on Thursday, the 24th of March at 8 p.m. New South Wales and Victoria, 7 p.m. Queensland, and a 7-day recording is included, plus a cheat sheet so that you've got a whole lot of extra info to lean on and think about what's going on. 30, 40 minutes, something around that. Can't wait to share it with you. Please visit happyfamilies.com.au for all the details. Hey, thanks for listening to today's podcast. I hope it's been helpful and that you get some connection time in, because connection really is the currency of our relationships. The Happy Families podcast, as always, is produced by Justin Rulon from Bridge Media. Craig Bruce is our executive producer. And for all the information that you can handle about making your family happier, please visit happyfamilies.com.au.